Okay.
And we're going to probably have a few more people joining because now that I'm live, usually that's when it reminds people. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a training. So we'll just give it like 30 more seconds and then we'll get started, Elena, if you're ready to do that.
Sure.
Fantastic. And just as a reminder, we are live in EXP Family Tree here in Workplace, as always. So this is going to remain in the live stream of the newsfeed forever and ever. So don't forget that you can go back in there and watch it. It's also where I will tag Elena so you can be connected with her. You can work chat her easily, find her in Workplace easily. And then we are also recording this. And so we will go ahead and post this on my Cari Briner YouTube channel, which is really just a channel where we host all of the training recordings. So it's easy to find and you can share it out with people who are not with EXP and can't see it in the live stream. So if you have somebody that you know that really has been trying to hone their YouTube skills, that even isn't within our company, pay it forward and share this great training with them. You can find it there and it's usually on my YouTube channel within about 24 hours. So remember, you guys, as we move into the new year as well, you can invite and should invite guests to this. This is open to anybody. It's a Zoom call. So anybody can join in from any company. If you feel like a vendor partner, a top referring partner could get value from a topic, invite them. It's really open for anyone. We want to have different ways that you can learn and grow and ways that you can help others learn and grow, come from contribution and bring them value. That's really how we build relationships in real estate, and it's how we build our business. And so that's really what, we're looking to do here. So share these images that we post in our EXP Family Tree on your social media, text them to people that you're in relationship with. You all should be able to see that, and that we post that at the end of each month so that you have the full schedule for the following month. And then if you also go ahead and go to the pinned post at the top of the EXP Family Tree Workplace group, you can click on that, it drops down and you can get the information on everything. Coach John Dietz is in the house today and he is the newest member of that list of trainings. So if you haven't seen it yet, every day, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, John does a free 30-minute coaching call. I've gotten so much positive feedback on it from those in my group that are joining it, and it's open to all of you. He's partnered with us in the coaching to bring this to you guys. You should take advantage of it, and you should invite everybody you know to it. So you can grab that information at the bottom of that drop down on that pinned post. And if you need anything more, message me and I'll get you in touch with John. He's not yet in Workplace. Okay. So that's just a little bit of information. Now we're going to get to it. Elena and her husband, Alexi, who I believe, yes, he's on the call as well, are amazing human beings. First and foremost, I met them right when I joined EXP and EXP Family Tree. They were like one of the first people that came to the masterminds when I started doing these and nobody else knew me, right? And they have been supporters of me and in my training and coaching with me ever since. And really, I just love them as human beings, as a couple. They're just an adorable family. They work hard. They have huge hearts, and just really one of a big blessing in terms of the relationships that I've been able to gain by joining EXP, honestly. Elena has just an inspirational story, I believe, in terms of her growth through YouTube. And when I first met with Elena, she, said to me, if I can do YouTube, anybody can. English isn't even my first language. Listen to my accent. And she had all these, things. And I said, I love listening to you. That's probably one of your, strong suits, but it's interesting, right? That's one of her limiting beliefs. But really, she has had so much success. She's going to share about it. If, she is here as an open book. She's looking at, providing some more training and coaching to people in the new year. And so we just wanted her to come in and share with everybody in EXP Family Tree. And I know we're going to get a ton of value. So Elena, I need you to just do a little bit more of an introduction of you guys, your team, how your business has grown, and maybe just a little bit of background on when you started in the YouTube space and so forth, just to give the group. And by the way, there's a lot of people watching live in EXP Family Tree right now. So hi to you guys. Just so that everybody watching live or here in the group can get a little bit of a background on you guys, specifically from your business growth and your YouTube growth. And then we're going to get right into it and learn from you, which we are very grateful and excited for.
Well, thank you, Cari. Like I said, I really appreciate you inviting me to this. And I always wanted to share, I'm an open book when it comes to this. And I shared my strategy, before with somebody, and I've never been afraid that somebody will be a competition to me, because there's really no secrets. I mean, there is a strategy behind it, but the only secret is hard work. Who can outwork who, and who can last, who can hold the breath longer? That's the person who's going to win. But
right.
I got into real estate 6 years ago, and when I got in, and that's actually part of my presentation that I did at these live events that we did in Charlotte and Raleigh and in Greenville. That's what I was talking about. When I got into real estate, I realized, real estate school didn't teach me anything really, but how to take and pass the exam, and that's it. And then I was like, well, now what? How are we going to do business? And there's all these great strategies, old school, new school methods on how to get into business, get business, and create success. So the dilemma for me was, okay, so first step, I need to generate leads. How am I going to do this? There is, old school and, door knocking, cold calling, talking, I kind of clump all this together with just like more traditional ways to generate leads, right? Whether it's buying Zillow leads or Facebook leads, essentially, or you talking to strangers in all those cases. And I, being, new to the business and having that mentality of, limited beliefs, like I'm a foreigner, I have an accent. How am I going to talk to people? I was being very shy. I was being very timid about that. And then on the other hand, there was all these gurus in real estate industry and outside of the industry everywhere who were talking and preaching about the power of video. And I was like, well, I don't know about that either, because that's kind of intimidating as well. But from the very beginning, I started taking all kinds of classes just to, educate myself on and get my, education going with real estate and how to build business and what is this even about. One of the, let me share this with you. Maybe somebody will know. Can you see this?
Yes.
Maybe somebody will recognize him. So that's Mark Given was one of the instructors at a GRI class, because I started taking some classes like a GRI designation class. He was one of the instructors, and he, I really didn't retain much other than a couple of ideas from this class. And those were staying ahead of the curve and exit strategy. And back then, when I first started, I mean, it still is, it's a process, right? Both of those ideas were very vague in my head, staying ahead of the curve. Okay, well, how are we going to do that? Just like exit strategy. Again, I thought real estate agents were selling houses until they die, and that's it. You just sell as many houses as you can. Yeah. But just keeping those ideas in my head all the time kind of led me to where I am right now in my business, in the brokerage, exit strategy. Hint, hint. So that's how kind of like all my efforts were geared towards those two things: how to stay ahead of the curve and exit strategy. And creating videos, creating this evergreen content where I will build relationship with people before they even meet me, where I will build it to the point where they will like and trust me, and they will come to me, and I wouldn't have to necessarily go out and get business. So that idea was kind of appealing to me. Again, door knocking, talking to strangers, or getting myself in front of the camera were both terrifying ideas at the time. But because of the opportunity in the long run that the video creation offered and promised, I picked video. Even me, yes, even me who has an accent, who was terrified and did not think that I should be in front of the camera. Nobody's going to listen to me. What do I have to offer? Nobody's going to understand me because of my accent. I was like, well, at the end of the day, again, just learning from other people, what other people were saying, how to get over those fears and insecurities. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about people who are on the other side, who are on the receiving end. I need to just get over myself and provide value to other people. And I think I have that. So that was a debate, right? Cold calling or video.
Elena, are you moving your slides right now?
Yes.
We can only see the front one. So I don't know if maybe it's just the one screen is being shared. If you can share your whole, I forget what it's called, your option of like sharing the screen or sharing the first one, then there you go. And then share. Hey, there's your YouTube channel. If anybody doesn't know, that is her YouTube channel. So go check it out. Look at that, almost 6,000 subscribers already.
All right, can you see my screen now?
No, we just see your YouTube channel.
What about this?
Okay, now I can see, yes, now we can see your slide. There we go. Now if you present, okay, perfect.
So, did you see this one that I was talking about?
Nope, so there we go. So that's
okay.
And then you were moving to the next one, right?
Sorry about that. So this was Mark Given.
Yeah.
He still does classes, and one of our agents, Beth Shadler, she was just taking his class, and he mentioned me.
Oh, he still remembered you. That's awesome.
Well, for different reasons, but yeah. So again, yes, like I was talking about, the choice was whether make cold calls, talk to strangers, being rejected, 90% of the time, or putting this in front of the camera and talking to the camera. And because, like I said, the promise was that the evergreen content will keep providing value, because I was also obsessed with, okay, how am I going to provide value? What do people want?
Yeah.
Not just instant gratification kind of deal, but how do I provide value that will last for a long time and people will find valuable? And this is how this strategy and my approach led me to some level of success. I mean, it's always a process, and it's always about it's a matter of perspective. To some people it might not be success, but I went from, in 2020, I closed a little over $2 million in sales, and then the next year almost $15 million in sales. Do you see?
It's a huge growth trajectory, Elena. That's huge.
Right. So that was a breakthrough for me, and that's how I went with this strategy that I use. I went from 1,000 subscribers that took me 3 years to get just 1,000 subscribers, because when I first started, honestly, I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have a plan. I was just, okay, I need to be in front of the camera. Step one, get over my fears, get over my insecurities, and just get myself out there. But I did not have a plan. I didn't know what I was doing, so it took me it was a very long and painful process. But again, I think just like with anything or with a lot of things, those who hold the breath longer win. And I was committed that it was going to work. The fail or the quitting was not an option. Failure is a different thing. You fail at one, okay, you go back, analyze, redo, make it better, come back. That's what I was doing. But then as soon as it clicked, as soon as I found that one strategy, that one thing, I gained 3 more thousand subscribers in just another year.
That's really the compounding effect. I just want to say something that I think is important for everybody to hear, because no matter what you're doing, a YouTube channel, building your database, cold calling, working out, trying to get in shape. I mean, if you think about it, revenue share, anything you do, the first part is the hardest because you're learning, you're growing, you're failing forward. You don't really necessarily know what the right way to do it is. You have to take the time on task to get better and do more and get a system in place. But if you can work through that time frame where it is hard, like Elena says, and you can get through that, there's faster growth on the other side, because it's that idea of time on task over time creates the momentum and the compounding effect. So in 1 year, 1,000, or in 3 years, 1,000, and then in 1 year, 3 more thousand. You know, that's the beauty. That's what she gets to reap, that reward for all of those seeds that she was planting early on, right, Elena? Don't you think?
Oh, yes, yes, definitely. And you know, just like, again, with anything, if you look at this business or your health, or, you know, this strategy that I use, it's also not just one thing, right? I found the strategy that will work, but it's the combination of many different things that need to be in place, that I need to consider and I need to keep implementing to make it work.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, that's definitely a compounded effect. And
Wow, look at this.
you know, like I said, just quitting was not an option. And that's kind of what I preach right now. That's what I work on my YouTube course that I plan to launch next year in January. And that's what I talk about in the beginning. And I kind of hated this approach when I first got into real estate, and I started getting into this with these mentors and coaches. And the biggest bulk of like the intro or the first few modules were on mindset and attitude. And, you know, I wanted, back then I was like, well, come on, let's just skip through this, like mindset. What kind of crap is that? Let's just tell me what to do, you know, just tell me what to do and I'll just do it. And now, you know, of course, I know how valuable it is, because without this foundation block, without this foundation of mindset, attitude, you can't really sustain to remain in the business using this strategy, because it's not instant gratification. Yeah. But also that's the beauty of it. I feel like anything that provides instant gratification results doesn't last long.
Yeah. And
this is, let's see, where am I? Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
This strategy, because, you know, it took so long, and it was not instant gratification, it was far from it. It allowed me to step away from posting content on my YouTube, because just being slammed with team building and new brokerage and this and that. And it's still, my channel is now growing without me. That was in September. I added 1,000 subscribers without posting any videos. But, you know, subscriber count is more of a vanity metric, just like your followers. Well, who cares, right? Who cares you have subscribers? Maybe you bought them, because people do that. As long as your phone rings. And my phone has been ringing. My phone has been ringing, and I can show you even, I try to stay. Can you see my screen now?
Yep, you're going to go into your YouTube leads. Yep.
That's my folder in just my Gmail that I try to organize, you know, keep track of who's, you know, whenever somebody emails me.
Wow.
December 12, like the people still keep emailing me, keep reaching out.
Look at that. That's 404 people or emails just in that.
Yeah. And that's just in Gmail. I mean, a lot of people go to my website.
Okay.
They register on my website, they call, they email, they text, they start following me on Instagram. Like they are
everywhere.
They find me, they find the way. Well, and I'm not a secret agent.
Right.
So that's also been very important. You know, how do you stay ahead of the curve? Like if something hits the fan, I kind of have a cushion, you know, with this strategy. I have a cushion where I can take a little step back, focus on something else, redirect, pivot with my business, and they still keep coming. They still keep coming. So what I am trying to say with, my example, that everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. There's just really no reason why somebody cannot repeat my results, repeat my strategy, and achieve the results that I achieved, and even better. I mean, if I could do this with this package, being a foreigner, not being native to Asheville, not being native to this country, if I could do it, everyone can do the same thing. And the problem is, of course, like I was talking about, it's not, where was I? It's not going to be a sprint.
A sprint, yeah.
It's a marathon. And if you really commit, if you really buy into this, if you really believe, and if you really commit, there's no reason you cannot do it.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people say, well, I don't have time. The whole time thing, right? I don't have time for this. Another thing to add to my list. Again, if you commit and you buy into this 100%, you'll find time. Why do you think I'm wearing pajama pants in this photo? It's because when I was really pushing through it, it was in early 2020, when, first of all, pandemic hit, right? Everyone was locked at home. I just had a baby, January 2020, and a 4-year-old. So I didn't have time during the day to make any videos. I was making videos when everyone went to bed at night, 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening. That's why I'm sitting in this one corner in my living room. That's the only place I could find in my house that looked decent, without toys, without children's crap, books, and all that. I was like, it's good enough. The option was, okay, I'm either making videos or not. If you want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. That was kind of my approach. Like if you're completely honest with yourself. Or, I had to bring her, the baby into the, I was like, well, I was in the middle of the video. I had to do it. I had to finish the video. I had to pump them out. She made some appearances in my videos as well. So the whole thing about, again, time and you don't have time or energy. Like, again, if I could do it with a newborn, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
As well as, being not confident, being camera shy. I've been there, I've done that. I was super shy. I did not want to be in front of the camera. I hated my voice. I mean, I still do not like my voice. I don't rewatch my videos. Like when I watch my videos, my old videos, even my recent videos, I'm like, but who cares? Just get over yourself. It's not about you. It's about people who are getting information, who are looking for information that you have because you are a local expert. It's about them because you're providing value to them. And the amount of emails and messages that come to me when people, if not buying, or if they don't necessarily want to be buyers or a client of yours, they just thank you for making these videos. They've been extremely helpful, and that's been great for a change versus trying to call those Zillow leads, Facebook leads who don't know you, don't know why you're calling them, kind of harassing them. It was nice for a change. So just get over yourself, get over your head, and adopt this mentality that if you do not get over yourself, you're not gonna have this opportunity to provide massive value to other people. It's not about you. And this strategy that I use in particular, trying to figure out about the value that I can provide as a realtor. And this was just a joke in my presentation, realtor or realtor. In my channel, it's neither. You can see that I do not have any mention that I'm a realtor, which in the beginning I did. In the beginning, when I didn't know any better, I was, making videos about real estate. Nobody cared about making just all kinds of videos, walkthroughs about closings. Nobody cared about it. Now you don't see that I'm a realtor. In the about section of my channel, you will see, but that's about it. So this strategy implements, your knowledge as a local expert who can talk about not real estate, but what it's like to live in your area, what it's like to move to your area from across the country, cost of living, different neighborhoods, different things that only you would know living in the area. It's not about how many homes you sold, how many clients you helped, how many money you made, none of that. So you really, again, learning from my own mistakes and learning from my 6 years of experience, going through this ups and downs until I finally found the strategy and developed the strategy. I did not have a plan. And I highly recommend having a plan, having a strategy, because that's going to minimize the amount of time it's going to take to achieve success with YouTube, and less chances that somebody will quit, because I don't know how I didn't quit in all these years, but I didn't. I was determined. I was that stubborn. And of course, YouTube strategy, and YouTube in general, is so much more complex than social media, Facebook or LinkedIn, Instagram. There's so much more that goes into YouTube. I mean, it's the second largest search engine after Google, and Google owns YouTube. So it's YouTube's analytics is the most robust analytics that's out there. So there's so much goes into it. It can be hard and overwhelming to even, like, where do you start? What do you do? How do you do it? Like I had no idea. And then I took I think I took three or four different courses. When I first started, I took a course, and that opened my eyes, as well as I learned some bad tricks that were just mistakes and slowed me down a lot. So with that, if somebody were to find a coach, a mentor, a program on YouTube, you got to be aware of at least a couple of things that, kind of should be a red flag for anybody. If your coach or mentor or whoever is trying to teach you about YouTube tells you that you need to run ads on your videos so that you can kind of push them up in the search engine rankings and stuff like that, that's a big no-no. And it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to be brief with this. So in 2013, AI took over YouTube. It's not the algorithm that controls YouTube like Instagram, but AI. So starting in 2013, it's AI that controls the algorithm. So this AI has very close and intimate relationship with the viewer. And AI's job is to make sure it knows what the viewer likes and keeps the viewer on the platform for as long as it can. So the viewer watches, or the AI watches the viewer and watches, okay, which videos made the viewer jump from video to video or just leave the platform and stuff like that. And based on the interests of the viewer, it will recommend videos to the viewer. So what I'm trying to say, I know it might be over some people's heads, but what I'm trying to say is that AI knows the viewer like better than a viewer, he or herself or himself. They know what they want, and they will cater content to the viewer. And if you run ads, just like on anyway, when you run ads, you have to set parameters, who you're going to target, right, with your ads. Do you think that you know better what the viewer wants when you set to target, certain people with your videos? No, the most robust analytics and search engine knows your viewer a lot better. So just let YouTube do its job. Help YouTube help you. Do not run ads. And then do not share on social media or send your videos to your friends, to your family. Again, I used to do it. I took some bad advice from first couple of coaches and programs that I did, and that's why it slowed me down so much. Took me a lot longer. If a coach says, well, we have this Facebook group, for example, that's very popular. We have this Facebook group where we share all the videos that we make so that we can all comment, like for like, share for share, stuff like that. If they say that, run. It's not even worth your money, your time, your energy. It's a fail, red flag. Run away from those type of coaches. Again, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't know, but I've done it. I've been there, I've done that. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Do not do that. Because what happens is that I would send a link to my friends and be like, okay, can you share, or can you comment, can you watch, comment, and put a like? And they're like, oh, sure. Well, of course, they're not interested in my content, really. They don't care, really what I have to say for 10, 15 minutes. They'll watch maybe 10 seconds of my video and be like, oh, cool, good for her. I'll put a like, a comment maybe, and that's it. And they bounce. And there's nothing worse than a viewer bouncing off of your video and leaving the platform. That sends a signal to AI that this video caused this viewer to jump off. They're not on the platform anymore. Maybe we're not going to show this video to anybody else, because that's what it does. Again, learning from my mistakes, do not do that. I used to have my YouTube link everywhere, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, send it to people. Now I'm a secret channel. I don't send my link to anybody. It's 100% organic. Everyone who watches my videos found my videos organically. They were either suggested by YouTube, or they were searching, they were typing in Google, and they popped up, and that's how they start watching them. And that's the only way to grow on YouTube. If somebody tries to tell you otherwise, red flag, red flag. And of course, you got to know some basic rules when it comes to YouTube, again, because it's such a robust and complex platform that has quite a few rules. And I tried to summarize them a little bit here in this presentation. Of course, there's a lot more depth into each of those rules, and there are more nuances that I can cover in 1 hour. But, before you even start creating videos or coming up with content, or maybe you don't have a channel yet, you need to figure out what your channel is going to be about. If it's not about, let's take it a little broader. If it's not about what it's like to live in your area, it can still be about, real estate, or maybe some other topics, maybe like coaching, what tips for agents. You need to figure out who is your audience, who is your avatar. And it cannot be 2 or 3 different avatars. For example, I talked to an agent just recently, and he's like, I have 150 videos on my channel, and I only have like 36 subscribers. And I looked at his channel just briefly, just kind of, on my phone. And he's got videos with his kids, like when they go camping or they go to a store. And then he has a video, testimonial video. Somebody, a client, a happy client, says how great he was. And then he has a video about a walkthrough video. So it's a mix of different videos. Well, it needs to be one viewer. It needs to be geared towards one viewer. What is your channel about? So figuring out that, and to figure out what to do, you need to make a lot of research, do research before you even launch any videos, before you even record a video. And the most simple way is to, of course, use Google. Just use Google and start typing in, living in the area, for example. Or if it's a channel for from a coach to agent facing channel, tips for new agents at a virtual brokerage or something like that, and see what comes up. Google will tell you itself, or YouTube search, or these three tools that I use, to this day. They are Chrome extensions. They have free versions where you don't have to pay anything, and of course they have an upgraded version. I use TubeBuddy. I think I don't remember if I pay for it. It's very affordable. It's very cheap. vidIQ, I don't pay for it. What I use it for is good enough. Free version is good enough. So I use these tools. Again, you need to figure out what the viewer wants. What do they want? What do they want to see? Your particular avatar, whether it's an agent, whether it's people who are moving into your area, or who are you talking to? You need to figure out what they want. Another strategy that, again, it can be hard, but batch creating content is, I think, a way to go, because it can be quite a production to create these videos, to launch them, to edit them, to get ready for them. So batch create and batch research, then batch record, and then batch edit, and then you have several videos lined up in case something comes up in your business. And if you're still in the business like I am, clients are calling, inspector needs to get into the house, somebody needs a showing, something else happened, kids, just all those things, that can be out of your control. But if you batch created content, if you have several videos in a row ready to go, you can just schedule them, and you don't have to worry and stress about how you're going to stay consistent with YouTube. Because one of the main things with this strategy is being consistent. It's not just for your viewer. Your viewer, if you just gaining momentum, they need to first of all, get used to your content. And if you post 2 videos, every week, and then you're gone for 3 months, they will forget about you. It takes 8 to 12 touches for people to even kind of register your face in their head and just remember you. Consistency is the key. And same goes for the algorithm and AI. They need to know, that YouTube needs to know that you're here to stay, you're here to put out content consistently. So batch creating content helps with that. And of course, for maybe for men, it's not that big of a deal, but for me, it can be a production. Getting my hair ready, blow drying, curling, or just makeup and all that. I don't want to do that just for one video anymore. If I'm gonna do all this, I better just sit down and spend half a day, the whole day, recording while I have everything pretty, nice and pretty. And I think it's also important to understand that when you're creating content, yes, there's AI and there's algorithm and all that, and you need to optimize and help YouTube help you. But you need, it needs to still be a human facing content. You need to optimize it and create for humans, not for AI and robots, that kind of are behind the scenes. And when you are very scripted, when you have a script and you read off of the script, some people say, oh, I use those little, I think they have even apps where there's like a prompter there that you can read. You're gonna, first of all, come off as, even if you're very good at it, even worse. You don't want to come off and look like you this super professional TV star. And my husband once made a comment. We stumbled across, I think, a realtor in a different market. She's not on he was not on YouTube or anything like that, but on Instagram, the videos were super professional, super polished, and they spoke beautifully, and they never stumbled, never made a mistake, just like from the movies, like from Anchorman. And he's like, he needs to be on YouTube. I said, no, he does not. That's not what it takes. You need to be a human being. You need to make mistakes. You need to say ums. Of course, you can edit that. If you make too many ums, that's not going to be a great viewer experience. But sometimes I just make a compilation of my my fails, and that's a funny one too at the end. But you do not need to be polished. You do not need to be this super professional. That's why I like to implement talking points, not have a script, but have talking points, bullet points that I'm going to be talking about. Because most likely, if you, whatever you're talking about, you already know what you're talking about. And those bullet points will keep you on track, will help you kind of not start rambling off of the topic, but help you stay on track and make you appear more human. People will connect with you a lot more than if you were this super polished, with a great speech in like set, you never make a mistake and stuff like that. So don't try to go for perfection. That's not what we're going here for. If anything, be perfect at being consistent with the strategy, but not how you appear and sound. The structure of the video is another very important rule. And all these rules that I share, it's not you pick and choose which one you want to implement and which one sounds good, and that's what I'm going to do. They are, like you said in the beginning, Cari, it's really a compound effect. All these little bricks need to be in place in order for it to work, and not only work, but work faster, and so that your channel will grow faster and more efficiently, and you'll start getting business from it. So the structure of the video is very important. Again, it's a trial and error for me. It's been, when I first started, I was not comfortable about having call to action. I did not want to, I don't know what I was thinking. I just did not feel comfortable with it. But I thought that people would know what I'm doing. I assumed that people, they can read it in the description that I'm a realtor. Here's my phone number. They can do this. No, people will not do that. People will think, oh, that's great content, good for her, and move on. And then find somebody on Zillow if they are thinking about moving to the area. You really need to tell them what to do, how to do it, and so that's call to action. But the intro part, the first part here is, it goes for YouTube videos, for social media videos. You have few seconds, 3-5 seconds maybe, to catch somebody's attention. Otherwise, they're gone. If you start talking about, let's wait, unless you have, database and you proved yourself and people are going for you, they're seeking you out, like they are seeking you out, Cari, when you first starting, you don't have a luxury of saying, well, let's just wait for everyone together. Let's sit and wait. And while I'm going to curl my eyelashes. No, you need to tell people what you're going to talk about right away within 3 seconds. Tell them what this video is going to be about. Move on to call to action. That's it. And the call to action is call me and my team, email, text us, send us a pigeon, whatever that might be. If you're thinking about relocating to the area, you really need to tell that. Like you cannot underestimate this part. And then the body of the video, you just need to keep it engaging. No matter how good information can be, people in this day and age, people can get bored real quick. 1 second they're looking up on the screen, the next second they looking down on their phone, and you lost them. Again, having those bullet points, not just for you, but for them, so that they, even if they did get distracted, they can look back and be like, oh, she's on number 5 or whatever. If it's 10 reasons to move to Asheville, for example, she's on number 5. Okay, it's on the screen, you say this, and you kind of keep them on track, as well as things like ask them about something. Like I had in the middle of the videos, I would say something like, well, tell me what you think about it. Or are you, Asheville is a beer city, USA. So I think in some of the videos, I would say, well, are you a beer or wine person? Tell me in the comments, share with you. And people like that, actually, so kind of keeping them engaged, as well as asking for comments, because that's also a good thing to do. At the end, you need to, another way to keep it engaging, and that's a very hard way, and not a lot of people can do it, but telling a story. Storytelling is the easiest way to connect with people. It's the simplest, but it's not easy, right? That's everyone knows, yes, storytelling, but how to do it, it's kind of hard. Here, again, you're not a robot. Do not just spit out facts or something about your city or what you do, coaching, whatever that might be. Add some personal stories. Well, whether it's a fail, whether it's a funny story, whether you did something yourself, tried, and maybe it didn't work out. But, tell about yourself while you're talking about something else. Like make it more personal, because that's how they get to know you, like, and trust you at the end of the day. And then call to action at the end. At the end of the YouTube video in particular, you again can say, remind them, if you're thinking about relocating to the area, whatever that might be, if you think you need help with coaching, call, email me. My contact information is right here or in the description, whatever that might be, whatever you want to do, or both. You can also, I don't know if you notice how in YouTube, when you're watching a video, at the end, there's like this, on the screen, there's those things pop up that you can click. You can point them out to those videos. It can be a subscribe button that you can point out, and again, remind them to subscribe to your channel, all that good stuff. If nothing else, if you don't feel good about having a call to action, like, contact me or subscribe or whatever, if nothing else, ask them to keep watching. Ask them to keep staying on the platform. And you're not going to just say, just stay on the platform, but don't send them somewhere else. If your video will cause people to leave the platform and go on Facebook because you told them, let's connect on Facebook, on my, follow me on Instagram. If that causes them to bounce, YouTube will not like it, and it will penalize you. So if nothing else, ask them to keep watching. So at the end, once you get a few videos going, you can say, if you want to learn more about what it's like to live in Asheville, or how to work with me on the coaching, or you want to learn more tips and tricks about how to get started in real estate, whatever that might be, whatever your channel might be, check out some more videos right here, and you point them to the videos that you already made, and YouTube lets you do that at the end of the video. So ask them to stay on the platform. And of course, a lot of people say, well, I'm not an editor. It's, another thing that I need to add to my toolbox. iMovie is one of the easiest tools to edit videos. I learned it. Again, if I could do it, most people probably can do it, or outsource things. We outsource TC. Why would you want to learn something that you hate doing, maybe don't have time to learn a new system? You can outsource, use Fiverr. They have a lot of great resources for that. And of course, you need to upload and optimize. Again, you're going to use those keywords that you made research on before you even started your video. And those keywords will be used in your title, in your description, in your tags. You're going to need to optimize your thumbnail. Thumbnail is that thing that that you see, the picture that you see. It needs to be something that's catchy, something that people want to click on, something that makes them want to, like, oh, what's that? What else is there? It's not. Don't mix it with clickbait. Clickbait is when they think it's one thing because it's so catchy and it's so interesting, but when they click, it's something else. That's not going to help you. But it needs to be something bright, big text on the thumbnail and stuff like that. Optimal time to upload. You're probably not going to be able to analyze it until you have a few videos going and until you have some traffic to your channel, but that's another thing to consider. Engaging with your audience is super important. As soon as you upload the video, as soon as you start getting comments, and it's true for social media as well, right? If you post something, if people are making comments, you better go back and respond to all those comments, even trolls. And the more content that you're going to create, the more trolls you will have. And that's okay, as long as they're not, offensive or just too crazy. Troll the troll, keep the conversation going. AI will look at it. Oh, there's activity with this video. Somebody is making comments. Somebody's talking. It must be a good video. Let's push it to somebody else. Just trying to. And then at the end, when you first starting with YouTube, you're not going to have, again, this traffic, a lot of views. So it might take you some time to be able to analyze on your videos. So it might be, a week or two, or a month to analyze when you first start in. But when you when you're in full speed, you should be able to analyze the next day or the next few days. And analytics lets you, again, take a look what's working, what's not, and go back and maybe improve next time. Or even sometimes you can change your thumbnail, and see if that's gonna work. You can test your thumbnail, and thumbnail, there's probably more information than most people want right now, but if you are in between 2 and 10% of impression click-through rate, which is how clickable your thumbnail is, you're good. You are within the average YouTube creator. And then rinse and repeat. Again, you need to be consistent, persistent. You need to keep putting content out. Again, if you put 2, 3, 4 videos, 6 videos in a row every week, and then you're done, I'm going to take 3-month break because you burned out, you didn't see results. Don't even start. If that's how you're going to go, don't even start. No matter what, you need to be consistent and persistent. And do not overpromise and underdeliver. I never wanted to say that I'm going to have a new video every week because I had a newborn. It was 2020 in January, or the beginning of 2020, when I was really pushing for it. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a video every week. So I committed mentally for a video every other week. And because that was the most sustainable for me. Pick the most sustainable pace and stick to it. If you can pump out videos twice a week and they are good videos, good content, good information, not just, oh, just whatever, I'm just gonna put something. Don't do that. Quality content, sustainable pace, and consistent. Most important things. Yeah, you gotta get obsessed. This is the guy, I don't know, I just thought about his face when I be obsessed, be obsessed with this. And these are just, you know, some Google reviews that I got that where people actually mentioned YouTube. Most other ones are also from YouTube clients. They just never mentioned YouTube in those reviews. But it feels, again, so good to when people thank you for creating content, for providing value, for being valuable to them. Even if I never gotten a sale, it feels so good to be appreciated and that I found, you know, what people want, how am I gonna provide value? Yeah, that was in September. So now there's a lot more emails. Those are just some little snippets of emails that I got. You know, I came across your YouTube channel. Really appreciate the content. I mean, it makes you feel so good, and it keeps you going too. Like, okay, it works. Somebody wants it. Somebody finds it valuable. I gotta keep going, you know. And going back to the fact that this strategy allowed me to step back a little bit, not post a video, and still not only grow my channel, which whatever, you know, who cares about the numbers as long as the phone rings. These people, what was it, June of this year, they emailed me that actually he registered on my website. Their price range was up to $2 million. And October 31st, they closed for $3.4 million house in Nashville from YouTube. It's one of those things, when somebody does Zillow leads, when they call them and let's say something happened, you got busy, do those Zillow leads ever call you back? Or if you stopped for 7 months, if you never showed up again, if you never reminded them that like John teaches, you know, okay, I'm gonna call next month. What if you don't call next month? What if you stop? Like, what if you fell off the face of the earth in their head, you know, in their mind? They forgot about you. They're never gonna remember to pick up the phone and call you, be like, hey, were you this guy who tried to sell me something or be my agent? I wanna buy something. So, and this strategy really lets you do that, but you can't do that until you start, it's going for you. You know, it's not 3 months, 6 months and you're done. You need to keep going, you know, the channel needs to keep growing, help YouTube help you. And that's the result that I'm seeing right now for myself.
I can't get off mute. I love it. I think this is so inspirational. Tons of really practical tips. You guys know what you're in for. If this is a lead generation strategy, just like anything else, consistency, commitment, and just showing up every day, figuring out a schedule and a system so that you can, that's just critical. And I think a lot of people start it and then they don't do it consistently. And that's why they say YouTube doesn't work. And, this is just a great reminder. It does work for those that want to work it, want to work the plan. So any quick last minute questions or ahas or comments as we wrap up for Elena? Annie said, thank you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This is live streamed. We'll have the recording on YouTube. Elena is going to announce her actual training program. So if you take the time over the holidays to just really figure out, am I committed and can I be consistent? Is this a lead gen source I want to add in 2023? And if it is, will I do it? Will I be committed to it? And if the answer is yes, stay tuned because Elena is going to be doing some training in a program and we can get that all on eXp Family Tree so that you could enlist in it if you think it's something that you would like to do. You'll get a return on your investment if you put the work in. John.
Can I say something real quick?
Of course.
Okay. because I know when I do these calls and I don't get a lot of responses, I'm can sometimes think, well, maybe I didn't hit home. And I know we're up against the clock, so I'm talking as quickly as I can. Elena, that was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I took 6 pages of notes. I put it in the chat, but one of the things that makes you so likable is you're real. You're not perfect. You're not overly polished. You're just communicating with people, and people like that. You did an amazing job. I got a ton of value. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Means a lot to me coming from you.
Lots of really good comments in the chat. If you didn't see them yet, Elena, take a look, because you did in fact bring a lot of value, and people were all letting you know they're going to come back and watch this recording. And so Elena, as soon as you have information on your training program, let me know so we can be posting it out there under this live stream, as well as just generally in EXP Family Tree. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. See you all soon. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Elena.
you.